Right, so here we go, right at the end of the chakra. This is the this here is the boundary of the owner's land. That's where I built my house, right at the boundary where not many people come. And there's the house there. This is my project 24. But the thing is, I've got the front half of the house here, which is phase 1. Phase 2 is the back half of the house, which is actually physically separate. And I've built them separate like that, really, to protect from termites. If one place gets infested with termites, it shouldn't infest the other one. That was the idea. And then behind that is where I'm going to be putting the kitchen. You can see, maybe you can see there, laying on the floor. That's the roof panels for the kitchen area. The kitchen will be completely open. It'll just really be a shelter with a tin roof. Phase 1 here is the floor is about 1.5 meters above the ground. That's where I'm going to be sleeping. In fact, I've already got my bed set up there. I'm already sleeping here. I've had to put up temporarily a piece of tarp at the end for some protection from the wind and the rain at night. And so far it's got 1.5 walls. By the end of today it should have 2.5 walls. I'm putting another wall up. And yeah, so this is where I started. Everything has been designed and built by me, which is probably not a good thing. But no, everything's well secure. The thing to think about most when you're building a house here is protection from the jungle storms, because the storms in the rainforest can be vicious and they can tear the roof off a house. So you've got to make sure everything's properly secured down. Those posts, those legs that the thing's standing on, for example, they're buried a meter down. And they're made out of a wood, a special wood that they call shungo. Shungo comes from the old Quechua language. It means heart of stone. It's called shungo, heart of stone, because you can take that particular wood, you can throw it in a swamp for 10 years and it won't rot. That's why they use it for the posts. But above that, I've connected posts to extend it. I've not connected very well here. I've only given them kind of a 6-inch overlap, which is proved to be a little bit stupid. And we can see that this whole wall at this end is leaning forwards. We can see also that I've put some extension pieces at the top of those posts, because I hadn't allowed enough height for the roof, and it was almost going to be rubbing the top of my baldy head. I've literally built this myself, even carried the wood here. So yeah, that's been a bit tricky. Those cross beams that you see at the top, that the roof panels are actually nailed down to, they're 5 meters long and heavy. So the only way I could get those up there myself is by slowly walking them, nailing blocks to the posts and walking each end up until I reach the top. And that one in the middle there, which, interestingly, if you can see there at the end of it, that's a wasp nest. I've got a wasp nest growing on the cross beam. Perfect. That beam there, that's the only one of 6 that I've put up there that fell. And I was up there at the time that it did fall, and Christ, believe me, my whole life flashed before my eyes. But it all turned out okay. The wood that they use here is shit. It's not the quality of the wood that's the problem. The problem is they don't have quality controlled sawmills here. If you ask for wood, a guy with a chainsaw will go into the forest, cut down a tree, and then start slicing the log up with the same chainsaw to make the beams and the planks and so on. So yeah, they're cut by chainsaw, and yeah, some of them are bowed, some of them are twisted, some of them are shit. And you know, you can go to great lengths to get good wood here, but for a plank, for example, I'm paying about 6 or 8 sol for one plank. Yeah, I know people who are paying 30 sol for one plank. That's because they've had it sent to a carpenter's workshop and had it put through machines and had it dried out and all kinds of stuff to get it really nice. That's what you got to do if you want to build a really nice house here. But yeah, I just need some decent shelter. As part of this phase one, I was able to buy a brush cutter. A brush cutter is very much like what we would call in the UK a strimmer. It's driven by a two-stroke motor, and then at the head it's got blades instead of a strimmer, which would normally have a pair of strings. And yeah, it's called a brush cutter because it cuts brush. The clue's in the name. So yeah, this has proved invaluable. It wasn't very expensive, but using this I can get the work done of 4 men, and I don't have to bother employing people and don't have to bother conversing with them, so that's nice. So yeah, that's phase one of the house. Tell you about phase two next time. Bye.